am Jet.
I'm Raven.
And we are overdressed.
Just a slight bit.
Yeah, today, we wanted to keep it low-key, keep it mild. This is our very first episode of
so exciting.
What we're hoping is a fun podcast.
I mean, I was just so excited to start it in general because I think the opportunity of sharing our voices and what we do, some people literally may not give a fuck and that's totally fine. But in general, it's just an opportunity to keep in touch with pop culture, understand LA life and dating out here because it's shitty.
It's tough.
And we'll have so many of our friends on here just sharing what they do as creatives, and I'm just so excited to be starting this finally.
I know, me too. No, this is great.
I'm so happy that we met each other.
I know. We should maybe talk about that a bit.
We should give a little bit of an origin story.
Yeah.
You can start if you want. Maybe I'd love actually to hear your perspective.
Okay.
And then we'll see if they match up.
Okay, so I know it seems like we've known each other forever. But we met in July. So it's literally been 3.5 months.
Yep. That's 3 months of my life.
Yes, for real. We met about 3 days after Raven broke up with a long-term boyfriend. Oh. And a lot of things about the relationship were very, very similar to a relationship I had about 1.5 years ago, now 2 years. That was also the same length of time with the same type of personality.
Yeah.
And we just had a lot to bond over in that aspect. And we also realized we had a lot of the same values.
Yeah.
And honestly just liked having fun.
Yeah, I think in general too, the first couple conversations that we had were very vulnerable and very raw. I think out here sometimes it's scary to share those type of things, but for some reason I felt very comfortable with you. But one thing that I thought was super funny that I was reflecting on earlier today was the fact that I had told you in our very first conversation that I tend to have a lot of women think that they're best friends with me immediately. And I was like, yeah, it's just a thing. I don't really understand it. I get that I like to share vulnerable aspects of myself. And that was kind of when I was sharing those things, I was like, but it's just not my vibe. Not everyone can be in that same realm of what I'm looking for in a friend. But I was just reflecting on that today because I was like, oh shit, she ended up becoming one of my best friends, and
and I did become obsessed. I was like, oh, you're my best friend now. I don't care what you think.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I definitely remember when we started becoming good friends, really soon after that, I was like, am I one of those people that just thinks that we're best friends?
Oh, interesting.
I had that a little bit of that thought, but then
and then I was showing that I was slightly obsessed.
So it worked out well. I would say.
Winnie,
and I think we're yeah, we're also joined by Raven's lovely little dachshund.
She will be our mascot because she's constantly overdressed because she's the cutest dog in the world.
In fact, for about 20 years of my life, I thought dachshund was pronounced dachshund.
Yeah. No.
And I thought those were two different dogs, whereas dachshunds were one dog and dachshunds were another type of dog.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Winnie is a special little character. Her name's Winnie the Weenie. 2 E's on Instagram, and she is a long-haired cream miniature dachshund.
Isn't there the word English in there somewhere?
Yeah, English cream.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So if you ever hear a little weird noise, it's most likely either my stomach or her. So, because chronically always hungry.
Yeah, I was about to say, or my stomach. So if you're wondering about our beautiful studio, we are in Raven's apartment. And no, we didn't really change anything. This is just how she lives. It's beautiful. She's aesthetic. We love Raven.
I love that. No, I mean, I am excited to use my space for something more. I think a huge part of my personality is I love to host. I love to throw parties. I love community. And to be able to share it with this type of community is super exciting. Because now you guys are all welcomed to my home.
Yeah.
It's
a good place to be.
And honestly, getting this couch was one of the biggest turmoil moments. Yeah, I mean, honestly, we can. I have no issue with that. I also think that I've been wanting a dream for so long was to get a Togo, and it's a 70s style couch, super expensive usually to get, and I ended up getting this amazing deal on it. But I also was very much forced into finding a couch very quickly, because my ex wanted to take the last couch, which was technically his mother's, and I had no issue giving it back. But unfortunately, he was not being very cooperative after the breakup, and he was going through some things. And so the best part about it, though, is I now have this beautiful couch, and I got to throw away his other one. So starting
Blow this
fresh.
up if you want a 55-part Who the Fuck Did I Date series from Raven.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It is a lot.
And
but
like, honestly, like, I'm not gonna overshare. Like, I'm not gonna,
we're overdressed, not overshares.
Exactly. That was horrible. I hated that. Don't do that again. But yeah, no, I mean, I think both of, again, like, the main thing that we bonded over was like our exes, and this was my first relationship, and so coming out of that, and like, it was her first boyfriend, and just doing it at different stages of life was super interesting. But like, honestly, on that topic, dating in LA is really difficult.
It's really tough out here.
Yeah, it's, you know, there's so many hot guys, sure, like, there's a lot,
but they know they're hot. That's why they're in LA.
Actually, kind of true.
No, it pisses me off to no end when a man's an actor or a model. I'm like, oh, so you think you're hot enough to be on screen, huh?
That's so true. And honestly, like, I grew up doing pageants and modeling, and I never wanted to be in front of the camera again. And yet here I am, because I'm like, at this point, if you are hot, why not take advantage of it?
Yeah.
So I'm also, and this is also something we were going to chat about, is the fact that I am slightly shallow when it comes to dating. Like, I don't think I could date in Wisconsin. Like,
yeah.
I don't think I would ever like, unfortunately, like, I don't ever date down. Like, I don't want to be seen with, like, even a guy trying to buy me a drink at the bar. Like, no, I'm not going to give you this ego boost by letting you buy me a drink. Like, genuinely, like, thank you, but no.
I feel like there could be some hot men in Wisconsin.
Okay.
Like, I won't discount the entire state.
I can discount the entire state.
I love a man that is so hot, but like doesn't 100% like know that he's hot, or like you don't know you're beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful type vibes.
Okay. Yeah. No, I get that.
Like, I love a man that works behind the scenes.
Okay.
You know, but is also really hot. Or like, I like a comedian, because it's like, I think
she's
I'm hot
obsessed
enough.
With comedians. Like, they could be not cute at all, and she's like, yeah, tell me that joke.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, if you're funny, it really makes up for, you know, the lack of physical appeal, because
and physical doesn't last forever, and I get that, and I sound like a bitch, but like, truly, I'm just being honest of like where I'm at currently. Also, like, I am not in this phase right now of like finding my true love. Like, I thought that I think my last relationship was so much about that, of like the seriousness of what dating it could be, you know, like, if you're really dating to like date, like, your mentality towards it is very much like, how do I make this my person forever? But then when you don't have it like that, you just have a really good time, and you can be shallow because you're just sleeping with them.
Yeah, that is true.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
Also, like, that's a huge part of like our beginning of the relationship of us, was like the fact that we can bond over our extroverted personalities. Like, we go out quite often.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, I feel like we both kind of did that before we met each other, and then we just now are each other's partner in crime and yes men.
Yeah. Also, like, my friends besides Raven are not very good at taking photos, or like I've always been the digital camera girl.
Oh, I jumped on that train so fast.
But I appreciate it so much, because I've been going out for the last year. I have no evidence of it, you know?
Yeah, no, and now everyone thinks that she's like this big like partier.
I'm like, no, I'm just documenting it.
Yeah, and honestly, if you can get good content out of it, it's actually really, I think, even in the dating process, like, it's nice to, one, have updated Hinge and Raya profiles, but also like for your own self, your own. So LA of us.
Yeah.
No, it's like, you can feel good about yourself. Like, you go out, you look good, you get good pictures, and you're like, fuck yeah, like, that's what I look like.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good, at least when you're single. Like, of course, in a relationship too, but because you have someone there constantly validating you, or they're supposed to. But like, I think it's nice to have this like confidence in yourself of feeling good. Like, I don't think there should be any shame, and maybe that's like jaded, or like a certain understanding from like living in LA, where making content or you see people shooting is so normal.
Yeah.
Like, you go back to other cities, but like, she grew up here, so it's a very different perspective.
I agree. I'd say like growing up here though, it's not the norm to see people making well, I say that as if there weren't like YouTubers that came out of my middle school that are now like huge.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Then I also went to USC. So that's like another nail in the coffin. I don't know, another candle in the menorah.
Yeah, she's Jewish as well. We're quickly dropping facts about each other.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I remember like the content creators at USC were all like not from LA, like newbies, like trying to explore their new city and make a name for themselves. Like they have this big idea of moving to LA, which I think is super common for anyone not from here. You know, they have like this idea of like moving to LA, all my dreams are going to come true.
Yeah. But then there's the opposite effect where I think it's so inspiring to see everyone go after their dreams, regardless if they make it or not. Like, they could be here for, well, okay, this is another thing too. Hot take from somebody that's been in LA now for 10 years. I think that it takes someone truly 2 to 3 years to know if they're meant to be in LA. Like, they worked hard. They find out if they even like the city. Because I think a lot of people come here with this like perception of what LA is. And then they're rudely awakened. Yeah. By the people, by the status, by trying to keep up with everything, the hustle.
100%. And I think a lot of people kind of just expect their dreams to like just come true. They
almost
post
immediately.
One song.
Yeah.
So what I currently, my day job is researching all of these people that have made it. And a very common factor is they're workaholics. They are people that do not stop. They release and release and release until something hits. And that is pretty much how every big person got their start.
Yeah. And the thing is, though, is you don't necessarily have to be in LA to do that.
No, that's very true.
Like, a lot of people are in the basement of, like, their parents' place and, like, they can pop off and then they move to LA because, obviously, all of the major companies, especially within entertainment, are here. So when you think business-wise, like, yeah. But if you're just, like, a person that's like, I have a dream and I'm moving to LA, I am usually shocked if they last longer than 2 years.
Yeah. Or like
from my experience,
their dream will often pivot into something completely different.
Yeah.
But that kind of also brings me to like the fact that a lot of these people who have moved here, they like to say they hate LA. You know?
I've never noticed that.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always seeing like people who have moved here as influencers or actors who are they're like LA is so fake. I hate it so much.
Yeah, I get that.
And I just, growing up in an LA that was not like that at all, it like makes me sad for the city just because it's like, you just don't have the right friends. Like,
yeah, no, I think community is like huge.
Yeah.
Like finding, if you're ever interested in coming to LA, like finding a good set of friends, it takes a while and you have to have really good judgment and you also have to have like a relatively good head on your shoulders of like where you're at in your life. Like if you're fine with your friends not really giving a fuck about you and you just want to party and have fun, like you have that group of friends. If you want like the friends that you can call when you had like a really bad day or you unexpectedly get laid off, because that happens all the time here in the entertainment industry. Like
I know so many people it's happened to.
And like Universal just had like a huge
Paramount, like Amazon even, like it's wild. I know almost like every friend has a story of like their boss or someone else at their company being like rudely laid off if it's not them themselves. Yeah. Just out of the blue, like, oh, we're closing down this branch.
Mm-hmm. I've worked for a lot of startups, which is also not surprising for out here. Like most people come out here for the investors and for all the connections, and that shit flops so often. But like for me as somebody that would love to work with a startup or with like independent people, being a part of that process, if it does well and it actually works out, it's such a cool thing. Like if you think of like, oh, I knew Chapel Roan before Chapel Roan was Chapel Roan. You know what I mean? Like that type of vibe.
I knew Kaylee. Sorry, I'm not calling you that. I'm just talking about her. She hates when people call her Kaylee.
So it's just like I can see, you know, both sides.
Yeah, I knew Chapel back then.
Yeah.
As in last November.
She's a big Chapel Roan fan.
I am. I love Chapel. She's great. I got tickets through work, so I was in like the little VIP section, and Olivia Rodrigo was standing next to me doing the hot to go dance. And I tweeted about it, but I have 46 followers on Twitter, so no one really gave a hoot.
I don't even use Twitter. So.
It's fine. Okay, X.
Yeah, okay. It's not. It's okay. Not a hot take. X is the stupidest name I've ever fucking heard of for any type of app.
Yeah. Elon.
We love
Call
you.
us.
Okay, we love you because I have a Tesla and I love my Tesla. Let's not
Tessie
let's
and
not
the Tessie.
Tessie and the Tessie, but we'll not get it twisted. But X, like, trying to make that make sense.
Yeah,
like, what was
stop
it?
trying to make X happen.
Yeah.
Should we talk about our weekend?
Oh God, yeah. Okay, we can talk about the weekend.
Yeah.
A couple birthday parties. I will say, just to put it in the world, that this is a pretty consistent thing, that we are out Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Like, those are our days. Our Thursdays are for our star girlies. We love them.
Yes.
They make the best events. I think it's also super cool seeing, like, women come together and, like, bring such a cool fucking crowd. It's always the hottest guys, the coolest girls. Like, and
everyone's well dressed,
super nice too.
Yeah, it's literally, I've never had like a bad experience like meeting a girl there.
No, which is kind of shocking.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, like, it's hard to find, like, it's not a club experience. Like, it sounds like they're like promoters.
Yeah,
but it's very much like, because I prefer bars because you're able to have conversations with people.
Exactly.
Clubs, you just stand or sit on top of a booth and like drink drinks that most likely are drugged.
Oh yeah.
Which, yeah, I used to go to Bootsy's all the time because my ex used to be a promoter there, and that was like literally the worst time of my life. I wanted to kill myself, and I was just trying to be supportive, but like, I can't step foot in that place again.
Yeah, I just love that women are like infiltrating this like male dominated promoting industry.
When you think of promoters, you're like, oh, I'm gonna get a bunch of hot girls. Women can get hot girls in, and hot guys now.
What if the hot girls were the promoters? Shout out Star Girls. We obviously we are a fan. Yeah.
But Thursdays we always go to their events, and like, also it's kind of nice to like intro in your Fridays with like a good night. Like, that's always a solid night. Like, Fridays and Saturdays are kind of hit and miss depending on like where we go.
But Thursday is always a vibe.
Thursday's always good.
Yeah, it's a really good way to start the weekend.
Yeah. But yeah, also I feel like a lot of people don't go out on Thursdays except for the people that are like there, and then like it's usually just Jordan and I, and the duo of us when we're out, it works.
We're a fun duo.
It's like secret powers. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, before I met her, never was spoken to by a man. Like, they hated me. They were like forever intimidated by me. But like, our thing is that like I have a really bad resting bitch face, and Jordan is a chronic smiler, so it's easy for guys to like feel comfortable. Okay, that's my reasoning of like why it works.
I mean, yeah, I feel like guys are kind of obsessed with you.
Well, I'm not gonna deny.
But I mean, yeah, I think you're also just like a beautiful woman. So now that you have like a little like friend that's just kind of like,
well, you're beautiful too. So that's like definitely. I think that it's like also, I mean, you can get whichever flavor you want.
Yeah.
And usually they with their friends who also have different flavors. So it's like kind of works out for everybody. We're doing God's service to the world by showing up on the weekend.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
No, something I really had to like radically accept is like you're not everyone's type. And that's good to have a best friend that's the other type.
Yeah. No, it like, and then also our types aren't 100% the same either.
Yeah. We often like both like the hottest one, and obviously they're
no, okay, but I also think that like our versions of hot are different.
That's true.
Like, I unfortunately, but fortunately, have a very specific type, and sometimes it could work against me purely because I feel like I box myself in a little bit. Like, I don't give the opportunity to boys with brown eyes, which I'm working on, guys. I've been talking to a guy that has brown eyes, and I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I don't know. But for some reason, like, it's kind of hard to get over. Like, I love blue and green eyes.
Really, green eyes are fine too.
Oh my God, I love green eyes.
Because Sid or Annie, one of them was telling me a story about how they like had this perfect guy for you.
Yeah.
And you were looking and you're like, oh yeah, he's perfect, but he has green eyes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they told me that story last night.
Oh, I wonder who I probably just made up an excuse. It probably was not the fact he had green eyes. Because I love green eyes, honestly. Yeah.
No, I agree. Light eyes are so pretty.
She has the most beautiful blue eyes ever. I'm going to zoom in right now.
But no, I mean, I love a man who's like a little like has something a little off. Like,
and a Jewish man.
Yeah, no, I love a Jewish man just because I like them hot, but like they can't be so hot that they like know they're hot, which is like, I'm like, you should meet my friend who's like on that scale of hot, where I'm like funny hot, where I'll.
But you're stereotypical hot too. Look at your boobs. Like,
okay,
I don't. Yeah, I like. Yeah, show those off because honestly, I gotta compensate in a different way, and that is by me.
My face card.
Sure, we'll call it face card. I love a good pretty boy. That was all. We both like pretty boys. Let's be real. Who doesn't love a pretty boy?
I know, they're pretty.
But the thing is like, because we can bag a pretty boy, it's more fun to just be with pretty boys only. Like, why be with somebody that's average?
Well, because then they might be funny because they had to come up with a personality.
Yeah, but again, if you're not gonna
That's
marry
true.
them, what's the point?
I know.
I guess a funny guy would be fine though, because then it's like you can be entertained.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't mind that.
I guess also at where I am post relationship, like I'm coming up on 2 years. So if I were to find like the perfect man, and
She'd be ready.
I'd be ready.
Yeah.
Like I would date him. So I'm definitely not like only going for like the guys I find the hottest. I'm like,
True.
okay, he has funny answers on Hinge. Like,
Yeah.
let's try it. And then they ghost me. That's another thing. They think they're funny and suddenly they think they're a 10. It's like,
Interesting. I mean, yeah, that is kind of a thing.
they're just too validated by women sometimes.
Or they bag a really hot girl and then they think that they can get other hot girls, and it's not the way it works. Hence why I don't give guys the opportunity to think that they can bag a hot girl, because I'm doing it for the other fellow hot girls to not get
thank you for your
manipulated into that.
service.
You're
Wow.
welcome. But yeah, dating apps are interesting.
Dating apps?
I got back on after like 4 years of being off. Crazy.
They're kind of atrocious these days. For example, I can go through my Raya. I've like sent messages like, "Hey blank, what are you up to today?" No fucking response.
I feel
Never.
like I match with people, but they don't ever send the first message. But my trick is, because Raya always has the Instagram attached, I follow the guys and then like a couple of their pictures, and then they more likely than not will DM you.
Okay, that's a really good hack.
It works.
I'll have
I'm
to
not
try
joking.
that.
Because also guys are like confused when a hot girl like randomly follows them. Because guys are always the first one. This is also like a thing. Is like guys, I feel like your main tactic is to always just slide in the DMs and like a couple pictures. So I did the guy trick and it works. Guys, I feel like they just throw it out to many women and see what hits. But when girls aren't stereotypically doing stuff like that, it like works very well. First guy I hooked up with post relationship was exactly that. Raya DM'd him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god, wait, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get on that because the Riot chats just aren't working for me. And then, okay, something sus happened to me with Bumble yesterday, I think.
Okay.
I know. So I matched with like a couple people and they had their like starting like icebreaker or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
So I like just responded to them. And then today I go on Bumble and neither of those like chats that I matched with yesterday are like in my chats anymore. And I'm like,
Wait, so they
unmatch
unmatch
me?
you?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, there must have been a glitch. Like,
Weird.
I'm confused.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Because like I don't think I said anything like crazy out of pocket.
No. Well, also I'd like to say Bumble fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Sucks so bad. I have not matched, I don't think, with one person on Bumble.
Is that not how you met the current guy you're talking to?
No, he was Raya.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
But Bumble, very unsuccessful. I loved Bumble when I was single, when I was younger, because I love the idea of like a girl being the first one to message. But now on Bumble, guys can message you first somehow. And I'm like, that defeats the purpose of Bumble.
Yeah, I was never on the previous version of Bumble, so I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But I've been on Hinge.
Hinge isn't bad. Hinge is how I met my ex, so maybe it is bad. But Hinge isn't horrible.
I'm finding it difficult, honestly, especially now that it's like you can only talk to 8 people at a time.
Oh, see, I don't match with anybody. So this is a consistent theme. Is whether it's through a dating app or it's in person, I don't really give guys a chance unless they really are gonna like I feel like possibly could be something like fun.
Yeah, I'm like, they're not that hot, but like this is a funny answer.
Yeah.
And so
No,
I'm
I
like,
get that.
match.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can like win me over.
I also feel
And
like
then they
Hinge can
don't.
sometimes be more relationship forward,
Yeah.
right?
You would hope.
Tinder's like not even in the running.
Oh yeah, I don't have
Horrible.
a Tinder currently.
No, I downloaded it right when I was single, and I was like, oh no, because this guy just immediately started sending me nudes with his girlfriend's shit in the pictures.
I remember that.
Like straight up, like all her makeup. Like it wasn't as if it was his sister's, because it would be funny because in one picture it'd be like with the stuff, and then the next picture will be like, it's gone. It's like he's like, oh fuck. Like, so stupid, so beyond stupid. Like, guys are fucking scum sometimes. And also, like, why are you just like immediately sending me that?
Can we talk about how guys are scum for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
So last night we were at a party, a birthday party, and there were these men that were seemingly obsessed with Raven. We go to their Instagrams later.
Yeah.
Find out one of them has a girlfriend.
Yeah.
The other
like,
one,
not even like there's a post of like him and a girl, like maybe they're just friends, or like, it was like from a couple months ago. It was like the latest post.
And also, like, he was posting ones of just her, being like, look at how beautiful this girl is. And she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But like, what the fuck?
But if like she knew, like,
dump him.
Like, also, I guess it's in a perspective too that like he didn't actually ask me out. He never got my number. He didn't try to kiss me.
Okay.
He just spent the entire night talking to me and following me around.
I mean, I clocked that, like, you know.
There was multiple people that were like, oh, he's like for sure like into you. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe. I wasn't even sure if I like thought he was. I kept trying to convince myself, and I felt like because everyone else was like, yeah, like he's into you, and I'm like, all right, he's tall.
Yeah, no, he was tall and he had a pretty good face.
Yeah, but
he was an actor.
He was an actor. Ew. And he's very small lips.
Yeah, that she did complain about that to me in the moment.
Oh, tall white boy, I can't be mad about that.
Yeah, he was wearing a vest. It was Western themed.
It was Western.
And nonetheless, I was thrown off.
Yeah. And then everyone else I couldn't tell was straight or gay.
Speaking of straight or gay, there was one man wearing a rhinestone cowgirl hat, and he was another one obsessed with this one. And so I was like, he was cuter though. I was intrigued. I was a little confused, and so I was like, oh, like, where'd you get that hat? And he was like, oh, just like this girl I went on a date with. And so I'm of course like, a girl you went on one date with let you borrow her hat? Like, how did this like come up? Like, how did you went to her house? Like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, like 3 or 4 dates with. I was like, oh, so you're borrowing her hat. You're currently so you have plans to see her again to give it back to her.
Oh, and I didn't even put that two and two together.
And you're referring to her as a girl I went on a date with. And Raven wasn't even in the room at that point.
I didn't know what was happening.
So it was just like, but I clocked his tea. I'm just like, no. How dare you?
It's so interesting because it's like in my head as somebody that's like kind of just dating right now, I'm like, okay, he borrowed a hat.
But how dare you be wearing my hat and say a date?
Yeah, I guess from coming from her perspective, but maybe they don't give a fuck.
Okay, maybe. But like, I would rather be referred to as like the girl I've been seeing or the girl I've been going on dates with.
Well, he obviously was not actively interested, at least from
God, I fucking hate
even
the gay ones. Like,
I love the gay ones.
No, I love the gay ones, but like the gay ones that turn out to be straight, like, fuck.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Nobody wants this. Okay, I lived under a rock and did not know who the fuck Adam Brody was. He's way cuter when he was younger, but like, he's such a good actor. Like, in this show, the chemistry between him and Kristen Bell blows my, like, it turns me on so much. I'm just like, holy shit.
Where's my Adam Brody?
Yeah, honestly, you need to find an Adam Brody.
That's like, him in the OC is like the epitome of my type.
Yeah.
I never watched the OC, but I've seen
him. And then who was the guy that came on the other podcast that you were like obsessed with? Yeah. That he had a girlfriend and we found out.
Oh, fuck. What is it? Carter Vale.
Yes.
So I was like researching this man for days and I was like falling in love with every single video I watched. He comes in. I don't know how I missed this in all my research.
Yeah, that's like my thing. Is like, we were like, maybe he's single. Like, maybe we can give this a shot. And he was so nice.
Yeah.
Very handsome in person.
Very tall.
Very tall. And then he said in the interview that he met his girlfriend through Hinge.
Yeah. And I'm like, what the hell?
Like, she could have easily come across him.
Yeah, and yet I hadn't.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, and I'm very sorry for your loss.
Thank you. Especially because his whole album was about like his last breakup, so I was like, he's single.
Oh, he jumped in quick.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's another thing I've noticed is guys love to just be in a relationship. Some guys.
Yeah.
Like, they just want that sex tap.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's like they want a woman to like be like emotionally available for them.
Maybe.
If they're going into relationships. If they're going into, like, because they could just fuck girls.
Not all. Not everyone has that, like,
That's
swag.
true. Yeah, but also I'm learning that everyone's sex drives are very different.
True. So many people are on antidepressants.
Yeah, and it's really fucking disappointing. Can you guys fix that?
Like, go in the sun, get some vitamin D.
Leave your caves.
I mean, I'm on antidepressants as well, so I'm not, no shame.
No.
But I've been one of those lucky ones where, it, like, all of my emotions and feelings are so heightened that being on antidepressants just makes me like a normal person.
Right.
Instead of, like, conked out zombie mode.
Yeah.
I'm also probably just, like, on the right dosage for myself. So
that's the thing is you take care of yourself. Yeah, like, you can't just, like, decide how much you're taking.
Yeah.
Or, like, be on it and be like, fingers crossed.
Yeah, no, talk to your psychiatrist about that.
I'm sorry. Go find another medication to do with that. Also, a lot of people are so anti-meds. I'm like,
I know.
Take your ibuprofen. Take your Dayquil. Stop getting people sick.
Yeah, why are people so, like, anti-medicine?
Because they don't trust people. I don't fucking know.
It's like, you are in pain. You don't want to take an ibuprofen so you can ease your freaking pain.
My issue is I don't like it when people don't take like cold medicine. Like if you're getting sick or you start to feel sick, take your fucking meds. Like, soup is not going to heal you. Soup and sleep won't heal. It helps, but it's not going to heal you. The whole purpose of medicine is that, like, you're...
Modern technology, baby.
Yeah. It makes no sense. On the note of medicine still, guys should be taking other stuff. And there's no shame in that. If you're on antidepressants and you want to have sex often, take other stuff. There's so many other things. And also your doctors don't, like, it's not an embarrassing conversation. Like, everyone has sex.
My doctors, my antidepressant, like, my psychiatrist, she will ask me, like, what is your sex drive like? Has it changed?
Interesting.
So she's on that shit because she told me that was going to be a side effect.
Yeah.
And fortunately, I've been okay, but...
Like, this idea that people give a shit about body count.
I've stopped counting.
But it's just, like, stupid. Like, as somebody that, like, honestly, it hasn't even slept with that many people.
Yeah, neither have I. I just, like, don't think it's worth keeping that list on my phone anymore. I'm just, like, I'm a person.
Oh, I love having a list. It's so fun to look back because then you forget about the people. You know what I mean? Like, even if it's only, like, it was 3 people ago, you don't even, like, you don't, you know?
I don't know.
I just don't remember them unless they're memorable.
No,
or I do it for the plot.
I would be able to recount them all, but I don't know. It's just my body doesn't, like, gain a tally if I sleep with you, you know?
So it's, like, absolute bullshit that guys can tell if you slept with a lot of people.
Yeah, no.
You're not going to tell if a vagina is loose. That's bullshit. You're lying. You just have a small dick.
Real. Clock that tea.
Yep.
She hates when I say things like that.
This is where the age gap comes in.
And also just being the chronically online one. Like,
yeah. You've gotten better, though.
I have.
And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I think it's because I'm forcing you to be in the world more.
And I like that. I really appreciate it. That was one of our first conversations, too. Like, within the first, like, week of our friendship. But I was telling her, I'm like, I am just, like, addicted to my phone.
Yeah.
I scroll all the time. I'm just, like, at home doing nothing if I'm not, like, out partying with friends.
Yeah.
And so, but now I'm, like, doing, like, normal things out in the world with her. And, like...
And it's more than just partying.
I know. Normal things out in the world.
We just, like, hang.
Yeah.
We, like, do cutesy things.
Yeah. She, like, made me dinner the other night. It was so cute.
No, it's fun to just, like, have the mix of that in a friendship. I think it's, like, important. I think that there are certain friends, certain circumstances, but I think overall it's nice when you can find somebody that, like, you can just click with on all fronts.
Yeah. Like, we could just, like, go get coffee. We could just go on a drive. We could
go to horror night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Film a podcast.
And that also, we would like to, like, preface this whole beginning podcast journey with you guys as these were individual goals first. Like, we had these ideas of, like, having conversations with people and, like, having conversations with, like, meaning and, like, with just the fun stuff too, and documenting honestly what happens in our lives. Like, we have worked in this industry for such a long time, and so it's cool to, like, have that outlet as well when it takes, like, so little effort. Yeah. That's why everyone creates podcasts. That's why everyone wants to be a DJ, because it's learnable, but it's, like, so cool that it's accessible to anybody and everybody. You should be making a podcast. Like, even if it doesn't pop off, like, if you care about the numbers, like, okay, it's going to be a lot more of a difficult process, but, like, if you just are doing it for, like, yourself, and it just so happens to pop off because people are interested in what's happening in your life and what's happening in the city that you're living in. Like, I know nothing about fucking like Finland. Like, I would love to watch a podcast from a person that's like a real person, not like an influencer person, like a real human being talking about what their lives are like in Finland. Like, why is it that we have to like start with our platforms first and then also be bottled into like only that type of content? I feel like if you're an influencer, more likely than not, you're already kind of living the same life as other people. We are normal people.
Yeah, we have day jobs and do our own thing.
We have our
friends.
dramas. We have like family issues. We're going about the whole dating experience like
in a very normal way.
Yes, and it's like, why wouldn't we want to be able to like have that opportunity to share with other people if you want to know and listen? It's like, it's going to be such a cool process to like watch unfold.
I agree. And I think it's just like fun to have this for ourselves and our friends.
Yeah.
And I like can't wait to talk to our friends on this.
I'm so
this
excited.
platform.
That's honestly like probably the most exciting part of this.
I know, me too.
Yeah. I have like friends coming out with books and albums, and they're producing these amazing movies, and like just being a part. Again, this is why I loved working in like startups, is because you get to see the people that you want to see win.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like the beginning of that. I feel like I believe in my friends so much.
Especially like watching friends like gain success. It's so fun.
It feels like I win. If they win, I win. And
Same.
It's such a cool feeling.
That's what I'm always saying, is like a rising tide floats all boats.
Yeah.
You know?
It's so good. And like that, even the podcast with this, it's like our hope obviously is that like this could become something like bigger.
That other people would like to.
Yeah. And like inspiring, and you know, we'll figure out what this looks like moving forward in like a more cohesive form. But I also just feel like a normal conversation.
Yeah. Like we want you to feel like you're on FaceTime with us. Yeah. Hanging out with us in the room, you know? Like it's just a vibe. It's Halloween is coming.
Halloween weekend is the most exciting place to be because I have been prepping for Halloween since last Halloween. Like LA Halloweens go hard, and they are so fun because everyone is so fucking into it. Like the costumes are not just costumes, like they are full like productions. It's incredible. Amazing. It's so fun.
Yeah, it's the best.
Also, the bars go hard because everyone goes out.
Everyone is looking for something to do Halloween weekend.
Yeah.
It's probably like the biggest party night of the year. I'd say besides Blackout Wednesday.
What the fuck is that?
That is the day before Thanksgiving in LA.
Oh, I have never in 10 years done anything for that.
It's really freaking fun. Especially
I'm gonna be gone this year.
That's the thing. It's everyone who's from LA is back in LA.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this feels like more of like a you thing.
Maybe that's just a me thing. Yeah. Anyway, Halloween weekend.
We are throwing our Halloween party this Saturday. Super excited. Yeah. This is my 4th annual one.
This is my first time being included in Raven's 4th annual Halloween party.
Yes. So she has a home out here, and so we'll be able to like have like a proper space. Last year I ended up having to do like a more of like a pregame party version. Still so much fun. I think my favorite part is inevitable that all my friends like cross over in some way, shape, or form. And so when people see each other after my Halloween party, they're like, oh, I know her because I met her at Halloween. Like everyone always refers back to my parties.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And so for me, it's like a way to like bring everyone together.
What's funny is like I've also always loved hosting.
Yeah.
I like threw my very first party when I was in sophomore year.
Okay.
And I just remember, we had our after formal, and it was like the first time we all partied as a grade, and I was like, this shit's fun. And so I was like, okay, who's throwing the next one? And no one was volunteering, so I said, fuck it, I'll do it.
Oh, nice.
And so I threw a big party, and so I went to all-girls school, the amount of girls there that had their first kiss at my party was so incredible.
No way.
It was, people like talked about it the rest of high school, so I threw another one the following year. Cool. And another banger. It was so fun. So that has just become like something I was known for in high school, was like throwing a fun party.
I mean, her parents are so cool and so chill, and like
I do have to say, during my second party, it was like my 17th birthday, And obviously people were like sneaking alcohol in, like
Inevitably.
Statute of limitations is up. It's been 7 years. But my father, the lawyer, if he like came downstairs and saw you with alcohol, he was like, that's a liability, and like took it from them. So like you had to be really fucking sneaky.
So awkward.
So awkward. Like I was actually seeing a guy like 6 months later.
Okay.
And he was like, oh my God, you were throwing that party? That was your dad that took that from me? I was like, no, I didn't throw that party. Like, I swear. But this year, we're 21 plus. We are allowed to do what we want.
Yay for being adults.
It's really a crazy experience. Highly recommend it.
What, being an adult?
Yeah.
To an extent. We literally were just talking about how we wish that we were children again so we didn't have to pay for things.
That's one aspect
I want
of
my
it.
stepdad to keep, slipping me $20 bills every time I ask for a $5. Like,
yeah.
that was the dream.
Now, like, being able to just get in my car and go wherever I want.
Yes.
And
that's true. I can't wait to be in my 30s. I feel like the 30s are, this is hot take, another hot take.
Yeah.
30s are better than 20s. I think that like when you're in your 30s, you're the hottest you ever are because you're like fully an adult.
That's what my mom always says.
You know how to like wear the things that look good on you because you've done all the trends. You know how to do your makeup now, and you have money, and you can like start your, like, everyone's journeys are so different. Like my cousin right now is like married and has a baby, and like I relate to her so much just as like a person and like our like ways of life. But here I am, single, living alone, like in LA, not wanting to have a child for like a while. You know what I mean? Like by the time my parents actually, they had mentioned this when I came home this past weekend to Vegas, and my stepdad was telling me that he went to a family dinner with like all the aunts and uncles, and they were like, who's the next like child that's gonna have like a child? And everyone was like, well, definitely not Raven, it's probably her brother. And my brother is 16 years old because they were basically saying that I will not have a child for so long because I'm so focused on my career and focused on my child. I mean, this is my child.
Yeah.
And
she is a child.
I am so content with that, but I'm very excited for my 30s purely because of that. Like I would love to have stability while I'm like super hot.
I 100% agree with that.
Right?
Yeah. No, my mom keeps saying like 30 is gonna be awesome, like you're gonna be like the hottest ever, because that definitely is something I'm like getting scared of, is aging as someone in their mid-20s, you know, like no, I'm just saying, like
I get it. No, I get it.
Like they say that you like peak around this time, like
you don't peak.
No, I agree, I don't think you do, but just like you stop developing and you're on the other side of that mountain.
Okay. Yes.
And so it like that really freaks me out. So she was like, don't even worry about it. You're not the hottest you'll ever be right now. Like, you got some time. And so that makes me happy.
I would say that when I was your age, it was COVID time, and I still look back at those pictures. I look very different, but I thought I was so beautiful. Like I thought that age was my peak. Like I was like, I look so good. And then now I look at pictures of myself and I'm like, oh, this is my peak. But so I feel like the peak, it'll be another peak. Yeah. So it's just like kind of really like accepting the love of like yourself and the stages that you're in, because you probably are the hottest that you are, at that moment.
Yeah.
It's really cool to like look back and like kind of like appreciate it,
True.
Anyways, Halloween. Let's talk costumes.
We're so good at getting on tangents.
I know.
Anyway,
Halloween. Have been planning my costumes forever. And then, of course, shit in my life just hit the fan. And I don't know, 6 months of my life just flew by. And so now I am very much still last minute putting together. But now that this is going to be coming out on Friday, which also, that's when these episodes are coming out. Every Friday in the morning. Look forward to it. You can listen to like this and New Music Friday. Anywho, I can tell you what my costumes are. Are you excited?
I'm so excited.
Okay, so I had to pivot a little bit because the thing is like I'm willing to drop money, but I'm not like trying to like break the bank, Like let's be reasonable here. I used to not be reasonable with any Halloween stuff, and now I'm like, all right, I can't be fucking stupid because in LA I have to have 6-7 costumes, and it's like when you have that many costumes, you have to be innovative,
Yeah.
Okay, so my Thursday night costume is going to be a Beanie Baby. Remember those from the 90s? I'm going to be like a brown standard bear. Like, I feel like you have to be, you know? And then Winnie will also be a Beanie Baby. I'm just going to put a little tag on her. And she's already an animal, so it's super easy on that one. Also, I try to incorporate her in most of my outfits because that's fucking cute.
Of course.
Yeah. For Friday, I decided that I was going to be dirty Christina Aguilera.
Sexy.
So hot. Yeah. I'm surprised I've never done it, to be honest.
I know, I kind of am too. I feel like we're going to eat that down.
I mean, I think I usually avoid wigs, so that's probably why.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, my ass looks so good in the chaps.
I've seen. I can confirm.
Yeah, so super excited for that one.
Yeah,
that's kind of like
too.
a backup one, though. And then Saturday for our party, I decided to pivot from originally I was going to be the Grinch. And I had a whole thing planned. And then I realized I don't have the time and energy to try to glue that much hair on my body. So that was, and this sounds crazy. Like when you think of the Grinch, it's not sexy. It was a very sexy version. But I'm just not, I can't do that this year. So instead, I'm going to be Judy Hopps.
Hot.
But not just Judy Hopps. When I think of Judy Hopps, the only thing I can think of is Judy Hopps Lover 69. And I'm like, so she has to be like the hottest version of Judy Hopps. So I'm literally getting cop lingerie and wearing that as like my costume instead of like a cop costume. Because I was like, we have to make her super sexy.
Yeah.
And then some little gray ears. I had handcuffs. And then I have a little like utility belt that I'm going to be able to like hold my phone in and stuff.
It's going to be so
It's going to be so good.
I'm
And then like some fur boots.
Yes.
It's like fur heeled stiletto boots. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, you need to find your like whatever Nick the Fox. Is that?
And well, so it's funny you say that because Winnie is going to be the fox. So those are my 3 for the first weekend. We'll talk more costumes next weekend.
I guess it's my turn.
Yeah, this is your turn. Floor is yours.
I'll start with my Friday outfit. I'm going as a mermaid. I'm
so good. Look at her hair.
Excited.
She's basically Ariel.
That's what I'm thinking. This is my first Halloween as a redhead. I'm typically blonde.
I was gonna say, it's big news, guys.
Yeah.
She's actually not. She's a fake.
I'm fake. People are always asking me. They're like, "Is that your real hair color?"
Well, it's because you have like the look. You have like the freckles and like the blue eyes.
I thank you.
Yeah, you pull it off really well.
Thank you.
And that's the only version of you I know.
True. No, she met me like as a redhead, and I feel like it works. It kind of makes me look a little more interesting than I did just as a blonde, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm going as a mermaid. I'm going to crimp my hair. I got seashell clips.
So fun.
So I'm a very thrifty person. So pretty much everything I have for Halloween are all things that I've gotten secondhand.
So cool.
So the bikini top I got on Poshmark, and it's like all these sparkles and like a pink like embroidered rim. And then the skirt is actually my mom's from back in the day. I think it's like
So
Rose
cool.
Nichols, like this 90s designer.
Love that.
And then I got like this is where I turned a little fast fashion-y.
Oh, okay.
Went to Amazon to get
All right, we gotta give out.
I got a net like with sequins on it to like tie around my top, you know.
Okay, that's like the most minimal Amazon purchase ever. So
And seashell hair clips.
Cute.
So that was just like tied all together, so I didn't just look like a girl in a bikini top and a skirt.
Yes, but also if you did want to do that,
I mean, yeah,
you'd be really good because you have really good boobs. So.
Thank you.
And I've complimented her boobs now twice.
Well, there are 2 of them, so they each got one.
Oh, you're welcome.
Oh, thanks. But for our party, that's when I'm going for the full look. I'm doing Black Swan, Natalie Portman's version, of course.
Damn, that makeup.
Yeah, exactly. Fortunately, my sister-in-law is like very talented, like makeup artist, nail artist, like hairstylist. So she's gonna be doing the eyeliner for me, and she's doing my mermaid makeup the day before. But I have this incredible D-squared like vintage corseted dress that I am so excited to wear. It makes my boobs look insane. Yeah, snatches me like no one else, and then it has like a flare skirt.
Oh,
yeah,
fun.
And
so are you gonna do like any type of like extra stuff for the bottom part, or are you just kind of gonna keep it how it is?
I think I'm just gonna keep it how it is, and then I bought some like raw edge chiffon ribbon and some like satin ballet flats, so I'm going to like tie that together and tie the bows up my leg. And then I bought some like feather wrist cuffs and feather headpiece.
Yeah, the piece is like for the hair is like the most important.
Exactly. And then the makeup. Yeah, so that's gonna be really hot and special, and I'm very excited. And then I have a little backup strawberry shortcake costume in case I need to pull out a third at some point.
And you will, because that was only
was Thursday 3 and Friday. Friday and Saturday. So
Friday, so most likely strawberry shortcake.
No, Friday's probably gonna be. Oh, I guess Thursday will be mermaid. Yeah. And then Friday strawberry shortcake. Saturday black swan.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
So definitely check out our TikTok.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna be making content there. Oh my god, thank you.
Man, that's so nice of you.
She was like, I like that idea.
Oh, you love content? Do you want to be in the content?
Yeah, she does. But I have a black cat, so I feel like I want to kind of incorporate him if I could like do a witch costume at some point. Yeah. Because I have a Halloween party I have to go to November 1st.
So do I.
So that's gonna be another look.
I already committed to a trio costume that I think it's kind of disgusting doing Halloween in November. Like, it kind of pisses me off. That's why, like, all this stuff, like, and that's kind of a controversial topic right now is, like, are we celebrating Halloween the weekend before or the weekend after? Because it does land on a really good day. It lands on a Thursday. And for 1000%, I will be dressing up on Halloween and going out and, like, doing the whole shebang.
Yeah, I mean, it is a Thursday.
Yeah, it is a Thursday.
We have to.
But the idea of like doing something, like, I'm not doing anything on November 2nd. There's no way.
Oh, no way.
No, I'm going to a normal bar. Yeah. Like, they can have the decorations up. That's fun and spooky and great. But
no, put up a Christmas tree.
No.
You don't like celebrating Christmas on November 1st?
No, that's why another reason why I was going to be the Grinch is because I fucking hate Christmas.
Yeah. I see. Hanukkah.
Sure, I'll be down for that.
Yay. You can be Hanukkah Harry.
What the fuck is that?
It's you know what Jewish kids were told when Santa wasn't like on the table.
Got it.
I'm half and half, so I got both growing up, which was always a vibe.
Yeah. What is your ethnicity? Jewish and
French and Irish.
French and Irish. Yeah. I'm French and Irish as well.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
But I'm obviously a lot of other stuff. I'm half Korean, quarter Filipino, French, Irish, and Cherokee Indian. I've never done a test, but from what we know, that is what I am.
Same. My dad did an ancestry test, and then my grandma, she researched all of her ancestry, like,
that's
back
so cool,
super far. So that's how I know, like, a French Huguenot on her side.
Okay.
And then my grandpa on my mom's side, like, was an Irish immigrant.
Cool.
Yeah, I think.
Love that.
I don't know. I never met him. He died like 2 years ago. But him and my mom were estranged. Sorry to out you, Mom. But I'm very excited for Halloween. We're throwing a very fun party. It's going to be so cute and cool.
I'm so excited to see my friends' costumes. Yeah. I feel like also a lot of people go all out for my parties because they know if they don't, I literally will kick them out.
They're going to be sent away at the door.
Yeah. I threw a wine night the other night, and we were talking, and she was like, oh, should I invite this person to my party? And I was like, are they a good vibe? And she's like, kind of. And I was like, no one's allowed to come to my parties. Like, this is a standard Raven rule. And I have people literally texting me before that, like, I invite to my party that ask me before, like, hey, can this person come? Because, like, I know that you don't, like, love them. And I'm like, no, they can't come, actually, in case you're wondering. Like, I feel like if people are going to kill the vibe, they're not allowed to come.
I agree.
And that's not to be bitchy or exclusive, because it is bitchy and exclusive.
But it's also our event.
Yes. And it's like, why would I want somebody that could possibly steal shit, break shit, start fights, like, cause issues? Like, I'm too old for that shit. Like, I'm not going to deal with somebody that's, like, been bitchy to my good friend show up just so that they can, like, steal more of my alcohol. Like, no. Like, I only want everyone to have a good time. So that's not happening.
Agreed.
But
I think we're on the same page there. Yeah. No, after you said, like, what's the vibe, it, like, made me kind of think about that. Like, okay, no one's coming that's not 100% good vibes.
Yeah. And our list is growing exponentially.
It really is.
Yeah. I think too is, like, we're only doing it until midnight because we want to go out, and also, like, everyone that's gonna be there, like, aren't necessarily, like, options for us to have a good time. So, you know,
We gotta go explore.
Also, fun fact about Halloween for me, and I think the reason why I am so obsessed subconsciously is because my parents conceived me on Halloween. And I lost my virginity on Halloween.
Oh my gosh. Wait, I don't think I knew either of these facts.
And I love dressing up. Like,
hell yeah.
As we can obviously tell. But that's probably why I'm like obsessed with Halloween, is like it's just a very fun time for me.
Yeah, oh my god.
Isn't that insane?
That is insane. I had no clue.
Yeah.
I was conceived on my parents' wedding anniversary.
That's sweet.
Yeah. The thing I've noticed is that if you're on the west side,
okay,
people are vaping. If you're on the east side, people are smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, because they're cooler.
Yeah, but like they smell like shit.
Yes, and your hair reeks of it.
Yeah.
But
and their breath.
I carry around a lighter just so I can like be that person that's like, here you go.
Yeah.
But I wish there was I guess this is like bad. Well, I guess I don't have to inhale it because I used to be with this guy that smoked cigarettes but never inhaled the smoke. He just like put it in because he
stars.
No. All the stars didn't light it though.
Yeah, but like it's kind of the same diff.
No, it is. But I appreciated that because I was like, that's horrible for yourself. But I wish that I could like roll my own with like lavender or something so that I could like look cool. Imagine me with a cigarette.
Yeah,
I'd be unstoppable. Also, vaping is like the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, you guys are patting down yourself as if like you're airport security. Like, I don't understand like why you're freaking the fuck out. Like, it's really, you are sucking off a lifesaver. Like, I don't get that. Like, what do you like, what part of this is like I don't care how bad the addiction is. Like, it can't be that bad that you're doing that all the time. Like, you're walking around and then you're pulling out this plastic piece of ew. And then the clouds that come from it.
Oh my god, they smell horrible.
It's truly embarrassing.
Have you ever vaped?
No.
See, I was a vapor from ages like 16 to...
I don't even think vapes existed when I was that young.
Yeah, they came out around that time.
Okay.
And my friends and I were like, we should go get a Juul, but we couldn't find a Juul at the place we went. And so we bought a Fix, a PHIX was what it was called. I know. And the flavors were...
Off-brand?
No, like literally an off-brand Juul. And so that was my introduction to it. And then I had a Soren.
Okay, I've heard of those.
Yeah. And
those are big, aren't they?
Yeah, well, they were like big and kind of flat.
Flat, yeah.
And that...
looked like Tech Decks.
One New Year's, it like burned the fuck out of my throat. And like I was sick for 2 weeks because of how badly it burned.
No way.
And then, of course, I still did it for another 2 years before I quit.
Wow.
I had an insane amount of puff bars, which are the disposable ones.
Okay.
That like the first round of disposable was like those colorful bars.
Yep.
And
those still exist.
Do they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my ex used to have those.
Well, when I was cleaning out my sophomore apartment.
Did you find one?
I didn't even find one. I found like 100. Like there were so many of them.
No way.
It was crazy. Like that was another thing. So I was dating my ex who wore contacts, and then me who was a chronic like vapor. I lifted up my mattress at the end of the school year. There was so many contacts under there that I had to scrape off.
Yeah,
and
those things are actually kind of hard to get off.
Oh my god, no! I was like really annoyed. I was like, "What the hell are you doing?"
I
like,
put mine in like a little pile, and it becomes like a little Mount Rushmore of contacts.
Oh, cute.
Yeah,
you should climb it.
Okay.
Mount Rushmore. Oh, Mount Everest. But has anyone ever climbed Mount Rushmore?
I don't know. That'd be so fun to be able to go on the faces. I bet you're just like not. It's like the Hollywood sign. You can't like get close enough.
Yeah. Have you ever hiked the Hollywood sign?
Yeah, multiple times. I used to run it actually.
Oh really? Okay, she fit.
Yeah, I used to like get in these spells. Like I actually hate running, with a really, really deep passion.
Yeah, running's
but
the worst.
I would get in these spells for some reason where I would want to run a lot until I get shin splits. I would get shin splits so bad, and then I would stop running for years, and then I'd pick it back up, and then I'm like 5 miles every day.
Whoa!
But I love hikes. Like hike running because it feels like you're getting more out of it.
Yeah.
You know? Because you have like the moments where it's like chill and you have the moments that are like harder, you know, especially with the Hollywood sign towards the end, it's absolutely horrific because it goes super steep.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Oh yeah. The whole thing hurts for me.
Okay. Well, I would carry around like those huge beat speakers, like the ones that like go across the chest. They're like humongous. Mm-hmm. I had that and I'd put it on my back. And I would just be like but like bumping like One Direction and just like running, and that thing like weighed a lot, so it like basically acted as a weighted like backpack.
Whoa. Oh my gosh, she's so fit.
Yeah, I used to be a trainer.
Wow.
I thought I told you that.
I think you did. You just lived so many lives.
I have.
Did you see Cynthia Erivo's reaction to the edited Wicked poster?
I will say we are going to start doing, you know, some fun pop culture facts because this is Jordan's bread and butter. But I would like to preface, I don't know names. Like, I don't know actors' names. I know musicians' names pretty well because I've been in the music industry mainly most of my career. I don't know. I'm going to sound stupid because 99% of the time I'm going to be like, who, huh? And then what's going to happen? She's going to give me a physical description. Still not going to know who it is.
Okay.
But
do you know who Cynthia Erivo is?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's okay. I'm a theater kid, so it's
okay. I also hate musical theater.
Yeah, and so she is playing Elphaba in the new Wicked movie opposite Ariana Grande.
Okay.
So
the
that's
green
the green
witch.
one.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
She's the one where Ariana goes, "You're green," and she goes, I am.
Okay, yeah, horrible. Anyways.
Yeah, loved it.
Okay. Again, hate musical theater with a deep passion.
It's true, and I love it.
That's like permanently in my like personality is I hate musical theater.
And I really like it. And the sad thing is she can sing and I can't. So
yeah, that is also true.
It's like, man, God really never gives with both hands.
Nope. Anyways, continue.
Well, someone took the Wicked poster. I don't know. Have you ever seen like the drawn Wicked poster of it's the green witch with the hat down and then like the white witch is whispering in her ear?
Yes.
It's like a very classic poster. So
iconic.
they recreated that for the movie where Cynthia Erivo as Elphaba, but instead she's like staring straight down the barrel of the camera and Ariana Grande is whispering into her ear, but like her hand isn't covering like her face very much at all.
Okay.
So a fan said on TikTok, I'm going to make an edit of it. And so they like made a little TikTok of them basically darkening the eyes so that it looks like she's looking down, making the hat bigger, and then moving Ariana's hand up on her face so it mirrored the original drawing better.
Okay.
Cynthia posted that on her Instagram story and said it was the most wildly offensive thing she had ever seen, and because the fan is trying to erase her from like the image, even though it's still clearly her. It's just her eyes had been darkened.
Okay.
And
that feels like personal trauma.
Yeah. She also said that she made the intentional choice to stare down the barrel of the camera.
Why is she making that creative direction also?
That's a great question. I guess a lot of times when people like take on a character, they like become that character and they feel so responsible like for her.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you ever saw Ariana Grande getting the role and she was like, thank you so much. Like, I'll take such good care of her.
Yes. Okay.
So I think for them, they fully like had a lot of creative direction over their own characters. Okay. Like they were trusted upon, especially because Cynthia has a background on Broadway.
Got it.
But it was just a very, very wild thing to like write this paragraph basically telling this fan that made an edit for fun that it was like out of pocket and offensive. Yeah. And I think the entire internet was just like, girl,
why? Yeah. I think that this is kind of like touching into how I feel like as we've changed as a world and like how we approach things, that like people are kind of slightly oversensitive to certain things. Like it's not that deep all the time.
Yeah. I agree. No, I 100% agree with that. But I think what happened was that a lot of people didn't really know who Cynthia Erivo was, like, besides the Wicked movie, because a lot of people aren't chronic, like, theater freaks.
Yes, yeah.
So it kind of sparked theater Twitter to be like, remember when she freaked out because someone fan casted her as... Fan cast, sorry, I hate when people say casted instead of cast. Fan cast her as one of the muses in Hercules, and she responded to that fan cast and said that it was offensive because she would never be in the ensemble. Yeah.
She just sounds a little too sensitive to me.
I agree. Like, but we get it. You're talented.
Not surprising for musical theater people.
Yeah.
You guys are all over dramatic. Yeah. In the best way, but, like, you guys are. That's kind of, like, what makes you guys good at it, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like you have to be over the top. Yeah. I can't stand musicals, but I love children musicals. I don't know what it is. Like, I think it is honestly because I like grew up with my siblings and like watching little kid movies with them.
Yeah.
But also I have like a certain respect towards animation. But yeah, that is how I will be watching it. I mean, inevitably, I'm sure because I'm an A-lister, I like will, which A-list is AMC.
No, she's on the A-list.
No. As I will end up watching it because I just see so many movies a week.
Yeah.
But
we're big moviegoers. That's
huge. Yeah. I mean, I don't do well. So I'm in the new realm of like accepting horror to be movies that I can watch. I still will never do spirits or children things, but I really enjoy like the thrillers and the mystery, and I can handle some gore.
Yeah. I love like reading a horror book.
Yeah, she's a bookie. Like she loves reading books.
I also like, if I'm working out, I'm probably gonna be listening to an audiobook while I do it too.
Oh, that's nice.
No, it's really nice.
I only read self-help books.
I know, and I wish I was the type of person that could read self-help books and be interested, but I'm just like, I need a story, I need a narrative.
Yeah, I think it's more for like you're doing it for entertainment and I'm doing it for like growth.
Would love to grow.
Yeah, but I also like my entertainment is like so different.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
True.
Which is so cool that everyone kind of like have their different outlets.
Yeah.
Of like what they're interested in. It's like the same way of like different music tastes. So as we have yapped forever, essentially I just wanted to like give you guys an idea of like why we decided to call ourselves overdressed and like the concept behind it. I think as like creatives and business people and like people that are type A and type B, I think it's just like fun to share like how we came about it. Essentially, like both of us have been told that we tend to be a little bit more overdressed than usual. It doesn't matter the occasion of like what it is, but like having the opportunity of like creative expression through fashion has been something that we bonded over, and like something like also the fact that we go out and like we can be whatever aesthetic and whatever person that we want to be. And so I feel like that in the core of it is like what this is like we are obviously like dressed up, having a good time, feeling hot, like having everyone feel their best, but also it's like a creative expression. Like this is who we are, and this is like the type of like, you know, content that we want to be making is for those who feel like sometimes like, yeah, you could be a little bit overdressed and be a little bit standing out and different, but like that makes you cool and better. And like, I don't know.
Well, what I was gonna say was just meeting you and like seeing someone else who's like so, or even more so like confident in the way they dress and like self-expression was so validating for me as someone who was often feeling like I'm dressing differently than a lot of like other people. Like I'm showing up in knee-high boots and a skirt and everyone else is wearing like jeans and a black top.
Yeah.
And for a while in my life I was like, oh, maybe I should conform and do it. But I think people like it when you are yourself, and like there's nothing hotter than projecting like confidence, and confidence comes from being who you are and not pretending to be someone else.
For sure.
So I think why it's such an important theme is because like it is a big thing in our friendship is having like different senses of style but the same sense of like confidence in our own expression.
For sure. I mean, like confidence is such a important part of my identity and something I'm really proud of myself for like coming to terms with, of like I can be me and like authentically me, and either you can fuck with it or you can fuck off. Like, and I don't feel bad or good either way. Like I am myself. Like I live my life. I do what I need to do, and I am confident the fact that I can show up to a corporate job wearing whatever the fuck I want to wear, and I'm able to do my job well regardless of what I'm wearing. I don't know. I feel like that in itself is like still authentically being myself, and in that is like honestly being overdressed all the time. Like even my sweats are all bedazzled. Like but it's like not done in a tacky way. I would like to say, like I sound crazy, but it's true. Like I feel like the overdressing is just like just an expression of myself.
I agree, and I think that being overdressed can also be like if we're gonna get really deep into it, it can be like a metaphor for being yourself in every setting. Like when I'm at work, I'm not, my personality is not like hiding away. Like I'm fully myself. I'm making jokes. I am like just being exactly who I am. Because that's what I want for my job. Like, I don't want to be living as someone else for like 80% of the week.
And I would say too, it's like inspiring to other people. That's
Yeah.
the one thing I've heard, is that like people are like, oh, you stand out, but like you are you, you know? And they were like, well, now I can be me. And like, even if like it's not everyone's cup of tea, like it's my cup of tea. And I love that, you know? Like being able to be inspirational to other people. It's one thing for others to copy, which is a whole other discussion we can go into. But for somebody to like find their identities and who they are.
And I think honestly, imitation is a big like way people find out who they are, is because they don't know, and so they see something they like and they're like, oh, let me copy that. And it takes so much time of them copying like everyone they see until they finally figure out like, oh, these are the aspects that are working for what I like. So maybe we can like help any of you who are like looking for their personal style to like give you some inspiration. And
that, and do whatever the fuck you want. Like wear what you want. My aesthetics change so much, but like there's always this consistent vibe of like, oh, that's a Raven fit. And like that's,
so true.
It's very fun. And also obviously the compliments are nice.
I'll
take it.
No, literally day in the life.
So I mean that's essentially like the core of our hearts and what we are excited to like share with everybody and like have this be a part of our new identities and like our growth and our journeys. And we're excited. Next week we'll have a friend on. Super excited for all of the content that will be coming, and then also just to start the journey with you guys.
It's gonna be fun and silly and cute.
But thanks for watching.
Thank you.
And don't forget to subscribe, follow us on all the socials, Raven Macaraeg, Macaraeg,
Jordan Trester, aka Jet, on Instagram and TikTok.
TikTok is overdressed, OVRDRSSED.
Correct.
Yes. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.